I've been very helpful. Oh yeah, I appreciate
Check, check. And don't forget, I think,
Hi there, hi there, hi there. I'm Ching.
Alright guys, hello and welcome. Turn off the music real quick. I am Brian Marks and I'm here with my co-host Kyle Marks. We are here to bring you some Legacy coverage. Alright, so we have Michael Hall playing 4-color check pile, a former winner of one of these Quest for Power events, or at least finalist.
Yeah,
and we have Edwin Pena,
yep.
also a finalist of one of these Quest for Power events.
The last one, in fact.
So,
no, not the last one. The last one we recorded.
This is a pretty good Quest for Power.
I think the name was flipped, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, unfortunately, as we said in the comments here, the last Quest for 9 was unfortunately not filmed. Corey woke up that day feeling incredibly sick, so we didn't film it. We showed up under the intention of commentating.
Yep.
With no decks, because we were like, we're going to commentate. What do we need that for?
But we got the battle, which is a...
It was fun. It was a lot of fun to just get back into
consolation
competitive
prize.
Magic. Yeah. So we showed up. Brian got to play Storm. I got to play Eldrazi and Taxes. It was pretty fun. A lot of decks that we weren't used to.
It's a sweet event.
Yep. So
do you remember what top aided that previous event?
It was 4-color. Grixis Delver, Eldrazi and Taxes, Death and Taxes, Random Air Depths, and Miracles. Edwin Pena also top 8 that one. He has now gone back-to-back in top 8s, looking for a third.
Yeah, he's running 3 for 3.
And that opening hand looks solid. He's got... Can we get that off the screen? He's got Tundra, Floodstrand, Double Brainstorm, Jace, Plow. He's got answers for pretty much everything. But it's less good against the... Oh, but Michael's... I was going to say it's less good against a 4-color deck, although Brainstorm solves all problems. But he is... Michael is mulliganing. Who would you think is favored in this matchup? You know, this new Miracles deck, we haven't really gotten... We've gotten to see a lot of it, but we really haven't gotten to see this particular matchup. We got to see Michael kill it with 4-color Waterfall. But
I've played a ton of this matchup from both sides, actually, and I kind of feel like the 4-color deck is favored. The Miracles deck just doesn't have answers to everything, and the fact that Terminus and Unexpectedly Absent put the creatures back into the deck kind of mean that in a long game you're not favored. Like, games actually come to decking, so like, yeah, you Terminused away my Deathrite and my Strix 12 turns ago, but I'm going to get to them eventually.
So from a strictly matchup perspective, I agree with you. Unfortunately, I think that you're wrong because this is Edwin Pena, and logic and rules don't apply to him.
Edwin is favored in every matchup in which he's a part.
So here we have Floodstrand go. Good start.
Starting off on Strand. I'm interested to see if there's any spice.
I swear, if that...
Michael told us ahead of time that he was only splashing green for... No, it's probably just a normal deck. I don't think anyone else is playing on Earth. He does have... Let's see what we got. Kolaghan's Command in hand. He told us that he was just touching green for Leovold. He doesn't have any Abrupt Decays, any other green cards.
I kind of like that, actually. Like, it's not like I prefer it necessarily, but I feel like that is a certain way to go that I respect a lot more than people who are just like, you know, playing just a bunch of fringe cards. You know, it's like, I'm getting like all the best cards from everything. I'm like, yeah, well, how's your mana treating you? So Edwin Brainstorms decides not to fetch. That means that he wants every card in his hand. We got a little bit of glare there. We'll get that fixed during the interim period when we can.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another fetch, though.
Yeah,
Aaron Mesa,
yep.
yeah. Sorry about that, guys. We'll get it fixed. So he fetches here with Floodstrand.
So he probably wanted the top card, but not the second card.
Right. Gets, of course, another beautiful Unglued Island.
The thing with the check pile is your deck has a lot of removal spells, so those are just completely dead in this matchup. I mean, the Mentors are targets for removal, but not good ones. You're never happy to like Fatal Push a Mentor, you know what I mean? He's already gotten 2 guys out of it.
So, I gotta say the most disappointing part of this game so far is that Michael has played that Art of Island. Just really disappointing. I mean, I just expect more out of him. I guess that's just me.
Firing off a Portent.
Target Michael. Well, Michael doesn't have a fetch. That's the thing. He says, I can set you up, and you can be stuck for a couple turns.
I see a Strix and some lands.
I saw Strix and Scalding. I don't know what else. It might have been a dual land I thought I saw.
Yeah, forcing your opponent to draw lands, but you don't know anything about the context of his hand. Maybe he needs lands, maybe he is...
Yeah, that's kind of what my issue is with this entire play. This is why I would expect someone like Pena to clearly play Gitaxian Probe. No one else, but absolutely Edwin Pena.
Free Mentor triggers. How could it be bad?
Let's see if he remembers his Portent draw. Oh, Michael remembered it. He said, "Oh yeah, I do in fact draw. I do in fact." That's not just look at your top 3 cards pass.
So perhaps he portented his opponent because he knew that he was going to ponder afterwards. But then in that case, you want to ponder first and then portent.
Yeah, because then you're like, "Oh, do I need this card or not?"
Well, you see a 3rd card deep.
Edwin
Or
is
you
not
can
known for
shuffle.
his sequencing being the thing that has made him in these top 8s. He kind of gets there really from like some smart like maneuvering play and from some off the wall cards that catch his opponent off guard, which I like. You know, it can get your opponent a lot. This is going, I think, as good as it can go for Miracles. Edwin's hands, like, he's got Brainstorm, he has a Jace in it, he's got a removal spell, he's got another Portent, Snapcaster, and Michael is just doing nothing.
Pretty much nothing, yeah.
And Kolaghan's Command, I think, is one of the most overrated cards in this very matchup because everything gets plowed. You like, sure, you can predict stuff away, and like that's good and everything, but in all actuality, lots of times it's just like you discard a card, shock your Planeswalker or something very mediocre.
No, I think your creatures go to your graveyard a lot more than you think because counter magic exists. There's a lot of cards that they don't want to waste removal on. They want to just counter them on the stack. Leavold specifically.
Sure, but usually by the time you're getting a value off a K command, the game has gotten later, and the Miracles player is like, "Oh, cool, I have a Jace."
Well, it's a late game value card. It's not an early game card at all.
Yeah,
So.
I would feel like it's better in the mid game than it is in the late game, but I can see it. I just think that like if we get to the super late game, that's where Edwin's gonna gain control. It's where he has to.
Edwin's deck does not play Entreat the Angels. He's probably just playing the Mentor build that he had last time. So I would assume that the late game probably doesn't actually favor him. He doesn't have nearly as many avenues for card advantage. He doesn't have any game enders. Here's a
Jace alone is a game. Nope. But I know that
Snap
Michael.
Brainstorm in response.
I know Michael has Force. So, well, you won't force the snap, will you? I mean, he's thinking about it.
Yeah, let him Brainstorm, and then he'll try to force or...
Well, you give him the opportunity then to draw a Counterspell Force, you know? And we know he plays Counterspell.
Well, he has to use a mana for the Brainstorm, so he can't...
Right. But we know he plays Flusterstorm. If he finds Flusterstorm in Force...
Yeah, the main deck Fluster.
The main deck 2 Flusters, sir. He only plays 3 Forces.
We're not kidding, guys. If you did not watch any of the previous Quest for Power coverage, Edwin does indeed play main deck Flusterstorms. Yep, here we go with Brainstorm. So let's see what we got.
He's got Force and Flusters. No, that's a predict. I thought for a
Yeah.
second he had gotten away with it. I mean, Edwin has no main deck answers to Jace, right?
He said he has a Council's Judgment.
He has one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're assuming he played the same build as last time. We haven't had a chance to really talk to him.
I just assume he's...
Force that. You got to force back.
Does he have a blue card? He does, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shaz Attack 7, for the follow. We much appreciate it. Alright, so Jace comes down. You will get to attack it, but does he have his own? I think Edwin has his own Jace, so it's not actually the worst for him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Michael went down 2 cards. He's going to maybe Brainstorm, maybe Fate Seal, and then Edwin gets to play his own Jace under no pressure. And, I mean, what does Michael have, you know?
So he Fate Sealed himself. Why would you Fate Seal here instead of Brainstorming? I guess it sets
Hang
you
on,
up so
I'm
you can
thinking about it.
bounce with Jace next turn. But
Yeah,
why
bounce
would
the
you want to bounce
Snapcaster. Yeah.
Snap? Yeah.
So that's really going to get him. All right, so yeah, obviously here comes his own Jace. We know that Michael does not have another Force Will, but we also know that Michael that it's not reasonable to expect that Michael has another Force Will.
It's always Fate Seal to me, Phil Rose. Always going to be Fate Seal to me.
It's called scrying. You're not wrong.
Always target your opponent.
I think I
love when you
Fate
get
Sealed
to-
myself once in my life.
I love when you get to alternate 2 turns. You Brainstorm, put the crap card on the bottom, then draw next turn, then Fate Seal on the bottom.
Jace Wars. I complained about this last night with my buddy Ted. We were playtesting. How much we hate Jace in a fair matchup mirror if the other person doesn't have Jace, because it just ends the game lots of times. You just play it, and it's like, if they have one creature and it can't kill it, and they have no answer to the deck, it's just like, all right, well, cool.
It's such a good value card, man.
It really is.
But Jace is... People are like, oh, it's a bummer. We shouldn't have it in Modern for that reason. But Jace is your reward for surviving to turn 4.
I mean,
You
in
know what I
Modern
mean?
especially, that's
Yeah.
like, it's like, I did it, guys. I didn't die to the
Congratulations.
robots.
Yeah, you jumped through a bunch of hoops to keep yourself alive.
To play my dumb fair deck. This format's great.
All right, Ponder draws. I see Kolaghan's Command, Volcanic in his hand. They're all
That
playing
is-
with their cards kind of
Yeah,
close to their
this
heart.
is not a great hand, unfortunately.
Well, the K Command can
Thank
kill
you,
the snap
Arnold
and protect your...
Gonzalez, for the follow. We much appreciate it. We appreciate anyone who follows us.
This is interesting. I think you probably...
Ooh, got me tongue, Vietnamese prodigy, with the what Pot of Greed does here movie.
All right, so here we go. I think probably the play is just Kolaghan's command, kill the Snapcaster, make Edwin discard a card.
They're both kind of at an even board state. The thing that might turn it is that Michael right now has a Liliana in hand, and he can cast it.
Ooh, does he?
He does. I'm pretty confident. I'm like 90%, but I can never be
I think
honest.
it's K-Command fetch something, but...
I thought it was Lily. No, it's K-Command. Well, there's a K-Command, but I thought I saw Lily, too. Yeah, it's going to be Shock. Make
Shock discard,
yeah.
like I said.
He has not activated Jace this turn, has he? He
brainstormed.
I thought he just pondered. Whoops.
I thought he did.
It would be funny if he did that and then he brainstormed. It's just like, I didn't need to know what else I was going to draw. Spaghetti gonna make you regret it.
Hey, it's Phil. What's up, dude? We'll try to get Eldrazi on
Aha,
camera.
see, I was right. He is brainstorming now. Portrait of Sanity. Thank you for the follow. Portraido Sanity. For Sanity.
Portraido.
Yeah, so he brainstormed second. There's no way that that's correct, right? Like, you should brainstorm first because your opponent's tapped out.
Depends what he was looking for.
I mean, if he found a Lily there, much would have rather cast that than, like,
Does he
a
main deck
K-Command.
Lily? Most lists don't.
I'm just saying if he does. Or if he even plays, like, anything early. You
Potato,
would rather have
potato.
more information.
There
Well,
you
Edwin's
go.
going for the win. He says, I just want to win the game. And he has double predict, so, like, he's going to predict him.
Yep. This is one of my favorite parts of this new Miracles deck is like the sort of
Do you
times
see
when
there
you can
where
morph
he's
into...
just like just tapping his two lands with his fingers, and he's just like, I'm gonna predict. Like, I just don't know if I want to predict that or not. Turns out, yes, he
So
does.
that bends the Scalding Tarn, and then...
Thank you, Hand Me Down Gaming. It's great that you're following. We much appreciate it. We've had a lot of followers here in like a minute.
Yeah, feels real good. Blue mirrors, man. All right.
I don't know how
brainstorm
people
going
play
on.
so slow. I always say that. So one person's brainstorming a bunch, and one person is fate sealing a bunch, going for the win. Now the question is,
I think Michael's deck probably has a lot more ways to remove the Jace.
does it?
than
I mean, what?
Edmund's deck.
I even talked to. I mean, of course, he doesn't run like a straight streamline list, but I talked to Paul, and she says my deck has just no answer to a planeswalker. Like, you just have to attack it and bolt it and shock it and stuff. You know.
Yeah, but I mean that's a lot better than Edwin, which is
Just
no
well,
answer.
sure, but I'm saying that I like Edwin's plan then to just go for the win. If neither player is very good at killing the opponent's planeswalker, why not just go to the win? Because he already has predict. He's gonna get the card advantage. You know.
Well, the card advantage doesn't compare to the fact that Michael's brainstormed 3 times.
Right, I
Like-
know, but I'm saying he's still getting card advantage with stuff like predict, and he's not like falling
While
behind
taking up the Jace,
while
yeah.
taking up the Jace. So he's getting the best of both worlds. He could get better card advantage with a Jace tick up, but I do like that he's getting good. Oh yeah, every answer.
1 for 1, your boy.
And Michael's left sitting here like, I'm behind. Like, he's just gonna. I mean, just keep it up. Keep it up, Edwin.
Yeah, I mean honestly, it's probably gonna
He's got
work out.
Snapcaster in hand, which can get back a lot of things.
Just cantrips at this point.
He's
He
got
has no value.
Portent. He's got another Predict. I mean, he's close to getting Snapcaster Force Will. Like, his 6 lands on the field. Can't cast it now, obviously, but...
Michael goes to crack a fetch, gets predicted in response. He knows what's there because of the brainstorm.
And he knows that Edwin knows what's there because of the Fate Seal.
So the fact that Michael did nothing with his turn but play Deathrite implies that he has no backup threats. So that's why I kind of like just terminusing and
So does
keeping up on the
I
Jace
think Michael
pressure.
has a Brainstorm, and he's got a fetch on the stack, so I think he's going to fire off this Brainstorm so that Edwin misses, and then the fetch will resolve. But he's thinking about it. I wonder... I know he lets
He's
it
just
happen.
letting it happen. Have your 2 cards. Choke on them. Then fetch resolves.
Choke on him. I think he's going to go Snap Cake Man. But there's no creature, right?
Just a discard shock, Jace.
Right. I mean, that's not...
They did announce recently that they're thinking about changing the Planeswalker redirection rule. So, ooh. That's actually pretty bad for him.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that Edwin's hand was Force of Will counterspell, and I'm like, And now next turn,
Michael also does have that Jace. It's just kind of being pushed off camera, unfortunately.
if Michael doesn't do anything on his turn, Edwin can then have snap counterspell plus potentially force blue card up and just protect his Jace for the next 2 turns. I agree. Good art choice. Woman just going. Gesture.
Alright, brainstorm response. Then snap gets countered. Now we get to untap.
I do not like this position for Michael very much.
After this game, I'll go out and adjust the camera for you guys.
I was going to say, please you go, because I'm very bad at that.
We can't see...
There's the glare, and also the camera's a little off. But we'll fix it, don't worry.
Michael's Jace has just slowly edged off screen.
It started in a fine spot, but you know what? I think that it's Edwin's exile pile that slowly ate it. It's just, like, encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, Michael's locked into brainstorming. He doesn't have a choice. He has a K command, which can get back to snap, which is exactly what you talked about. But...
Yep, Snapcaster, K command, get back Snapcaster, then next turn...
But the problem is that I think Edwin has Force Will, so if he doesn't have a counterspell back, which I think he only plays Force Wills in his deck, then this is just going to be a bad time for Michael.
Why fire off the cantrip there? Unless he saw a card that he wanted. It's a Strix.
I mean, of course, if you're Edwin, you don't want to waste Force Will pitching Snapcaster when that's all you have. But it's certainly better than having your opponent get back Snapcaster and shock your Jace.
Yep. Yeah, maybe the Jace Elevator was the correct play. It looks like it's really going to work out for him this game.
And even then, like, getting out of Snapcaster, it's not stopping Jace. That's just meaning, okay, now I can go back to brainstorming, you know? And the fact that Edwin has in his deck the potential for a 1-card removal for his opponent's Jace can potentially play a big role. Now, the problem here is that Michael has him to Turok, and he's going to go for it. And so he's going to get to force this Kolaghan's command to resolve. But Edwin just...
Why force it when
right.
You might be able to keep your Snapcaster?
No, he gets to keep the force, though, and Edwin and Michael doesn't know about that. So Michael might pass and try and upkeep it for some reason, and that might cost him. But no, he's going to fire it off now.
No.
He's got,
Excuse me
This is actually going to work terribly for him.
Yeah, this is not great. Okay, he put back the K command, interestingly enough. He kept a Brainstorm Strix in hand. I'm interested about that. I wonder why you would do that. Alright, untap. I have a force now. What did he draw? I think it was some cantrip. Oh, he's going brainstorming now. He says, alright, I've fallen behind a little bit. Oh, but
Mentor.
Mentor, Flusterstorm, Force of Will, Ponder, Plow. The world.
Yeah, Brainstorm OP. Especially Jace Brainstorm.
Can we just point out, Edwin now has the advantage of having a kill condition on the board that in 3 turns could, in theory, after this, in 3 turns could, in theory, win the game. Can play another game ender. Michael has 1 card in hand, 2 cards, one of which is Brainstorm, one of which is K command, and Edwin has protection plus a removal spell.
Nuts. Are you sure that's Flusterstorm? I think it looks like Ponder.
I thought it was Fluster. I know that he's got Plow in his hand.
He put back the force because he didn't have an excess.
Right. There's no need for that, and you want to Plow that.
Brainstorm response.
I would have plowed that Striction response because you're gonna plow
the Mentor's
anyway.
on the stack.
Oh, it's on the stack. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, no reason to let it resolve when you could just respond. This is looking pretty bad for Michael, actually.
It's amazing. He's brainstormed so many more times, but he has exactly the same amount of cards in hand. You know. Oh, but it is a Ponder. You were right. So I know, or we know.
Slack off tokens, yeah.
Yeah, we gave them to him, I think. Oh, no, he brought them. That's right. There was another Mentor player last time that didn't have it. What did he draw? Curse you, Edwin Pena.
So he has Plow and a mystery card.
Mysterious.
So this...
I think it's Force, but there's no reason to draw a Force.
Here's the problem, is this K command, he's going to go K command, Mentor, and then try to get back Snap, but then the Strix is going to get plowed in response,
Yeah.
which keeps the Mentor alive.
And that's why I think Michael will work to try and find a window when Edwin smartly did not cast that Plow. I was saying cast the Plow to get an extra token, but holding it, yep, here comes Blowout City. I know Leovold.
That's actually a good one, so...
But it just forces Edwin back on the plan that he was already kind of doing. Apply that in response, get triggered.
Ooh, but now we get to...
Yep, now we get to K command it.
See, this is exactly what you said. This
Yeah.
works perfectly.
Get a window.
So now that dies. You discard your last card. Or no, I get back my Snapcaster. Yeah.
Wow, this might have all worked out for him. Oh. Oh, I was right. I was right.
No.
I was right. I was so right. He had it. Oh, Edwin Pena, you are a
I would just concede at that point.
Golly, Michael literally sitting here like, are you serious?
That was his last. Oh, because he pondered into
I
it.
told you I saw it.
So it was pondering.
And I
but it
told you Ed
pondered
Ponder
into
too. I was like, oh, thank you, Anime 8,000,000,000,000,000,000 for following. Well,
had it. Quite literally had it. Yeah,
can you
he has
explain to me
made
how that could have
clusters.
possibly gone worse?
For those of you in the chat who don't know, this is Edwin Pena.
Edwin Pena, any rules that you have, throw them out the window for what's worth. But Edwin Pena, yeah, the last Quest Prior that we filmed, he top 8'd and he was playing 2 Fluster and we talked to him about it. He's playing 3 Force and 2 Fluster, and he said he likes it a lot, especially with the Mentor plan. I mean, okay, for those of you just tuning in, you can't see it, but Michael does actually have a Jace on the field.
Yep.
It's hidden,
Yeah,
but
he
it's
pushed it
there.
off
See,
camera,
he
unfortunately.
moved his hand slightly. He unsummoned a token. That's probably a great sign for him, right? Like,
Nothing else you can do.
I mean, not wrong, but
Like I said, this is pretty close to just straight concession
now, are
city.
we going to see Edwin make the mistake of trying to brainstorm is the problem. That is the only route I think I can see here for Michael winning, is if Edwin goes, I'll brainstorm. He's just coming in.
Brainstormer's not bad. Why would brainstorming be bad?
Leovold kind of says, hey, nice brainstorm, dude. And that's why Brian Marks is not out there playing on the feature match table today. Unsummon your Leovold.
Unsummon his mentor?
Wow, the old 1-for-1 and go to hell.
What world are we in? Why would you do that? Oh, he killed Jace, I guess, with the...
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, he attacked Jace with the token.
Well, he's got a Strix, a Gurmag, and I think another Leovold.
Yeah, that Kermig just gets bounced endlessly while the mentor takes over.
I thought he had a Leovold. If he doesn't, though, then he's in a world of trouble. Leovold's alright. It's not even great. It's just good, you know. I think it's a Leovold. I know he has a Strix, so you start with that always, because it's like free card. Boom. I think he's going to draw the Gurmag and play. He's fixing with his graveyard. Weird tapping. Okay, well, he didn't play anything, so he has something. Okay, back to brainstorming. So it's weird that Edwin did all this ticking up, ticking up, ticking up.
I think we lost. Oh, yeah, I think we're still good.
Okay. It's weird that Edwin did all this ticking up, ticking up, ticking up, and we thought he was going for this plan, and now suddenly he's on the brainstorm plan. I guess now that he has Mentor, he just wants to win the card advantage battle, and plus he has the Jace advantage. It feels like this game is pretty much over, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You hate to say it.
It really all came down to that Flusterstorm play. The K command was probably killing the mentor, getting back the snap was probably just enough to swing Michael to parity or
Yeah.
favor, but
I mean, Flusterstorm, great. Edwin, great. Michael, good. Very good. Great. But, you know.
all right, here's my fish.
See, I don't necessarily disagree with you, Portrait of Sanity, but, you know, it is a big tournament. You feel like if you just find... I mean, I don't know what the 4-color deck, though, can find to kill a Jace, you know? And if the answer is nothing, what is your hope, you know? Jace on 7. How are you going to kill it?
I mean, if this Gurmag stick around, but that's not likely. And your opponent has no spells for the mentor.
Yeah, that's the problem with Jace. It does a great job of protecting itself as well as be a great card advantage engine and a win condition. Sorry. Got a little bit of a cold over here. Alright, so I think he has another Jason hand. Oh, there's a plow, get a trigger. Don't
Yep.
even need to unsummon it.
This probably should have been conceded a while back.
Never give up, never surrender. I think he can hard. Yep. I was gonna say he can hardcast force.
Never give up. Always surrender.
I would definitely concede in response to that. If someone hardcasts a forcible on my lightning bolt targeting their mentor and they're getting a second token, I would snap it off. Drew, I think Leovold. Maybe it was this fetch. It's hard to tell with all these multicolored cards.
Yeah, it doesn't particularly matter anymore. I don't know why he is playing it out, considering they're more than halfway through the round
Yeah, that's
now.
very questionable.
I agree with Portrait of Sanity that you need time to win 2 more games.
I think people just hate conceding. Like, people listen to, like, I get the Reed Duke argument of don't concede, but, like, sometimes that just plays so against you. You have to know when it's right to not concede. It's not just, like, a general rule, never concede. It's, like, a rule of, like, if you have no other way to win the match, like, this is game 2 and you're down a game, don't concede. But, like, if it's game 1, there's a strategical reason to concede, you know? Like, how are you coming back from that? He just played a second mentor and a ponder. Just, you know. Yeah, I just don't see a way even close to them coming back from this. We have 150 viewers.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. In case, you just jumped in mid-match, this is the Quest from Power 9 tournament from MTG First. This is round 1. We have 2 of our former Quest for Power 9 finalists here, playing the decks that they
I felt it was a pretty good
kinda known
way to
for.
start the day, so
Yeah.
I ran with it.
This game has just been completely dominated by Jace, though.
Both players had Jace. One player ticked it up a bunch, that would be Edwin, but his deck is better generating card advantage through just one card at a time.
Balls of Steel. Thanks for the follow.
Walls of Steel. Sure.
Just keep throwing stuff on
Please. I don't know what Michael's playing for.
the board. Toxic Deluge. That
Even
would be kinda
then,
cool.
like, you're still facing a Jace.
I was at 2 mentors now.
Yeah, you didn't notice that. I was saying, why are you not conceding to the second mentor? What is your hope?
He has to have something.
To what? Answer everything? And Michael and Edwin has a yeah. Oh, that was that was the one. That was that Snapcaster. That was the one. That
Excuse
did
us,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. Pardon us.
Wow.
All right. Well, game 1, the marathon has ended. 27 minutes in. I will let Brian get out of the booth real quick to go fix the lighting issue and the camera a little bit.
Yeah, certainly. I'm gonna do what I can. We'll see.
So Brian's going to attempt to fix that. During the meantime, I will be keeping you all company. Lucky you guys to get to hear my beautiful voice. I apologize about that. So yeah, that was kind of interesting. I mean, the 4-color is a slow at finishing games on top of being control deck.
Excuse me for
Miracles just.
dropping in.
I agree. That's exactly kind of what I thought. That I thought the Miracles deck would just play this like long controlling game because it's a little bit more favored in the late game and it's better at playing the control version. But the problem came with Michael did fall behind. They were both at kind of like a parity state. Both had 2 cards in hand. One had Jace. They both had Jace. I'm not going home, but thank you for offering. But then after that happened, Michael lost his Jace in a combat, or Michael went for a K command on a Monastery Mentor to kill it, and then Edwin had the blowout with Flusterstorm, which at that point it allowed Edwin to finally get enough creatures to attack and kill the opponent's Jace, Michael's Jace. So he had his own Jace, he had Mentor, and he had basically everything. And there was just no coming back from that for Michael unless he drew a Jace that next turn. And once he
Excuse
didn't,
me for
thank you, by the way,
dropping in.
Taste of Ink 34 for the follow. But once he didn't, there is a strategical reason to concede. And this is kind of the problem. A lot of people read these articles and read these like these tips and
Excuse me
tricks.
for
Thank you, Bronze
dropping
Atlas
in.
17 for the follow. We always appreciate it, or any followers. But once you get these tips and tricks and all that stuff, yes, it's a good idea to listen to them. Yes, in general, you kind of don't want to concede. Conceding is just like not a great idea. But there's also strategic times when you should concede. When you're playing against someone game 1 and they're a control deck and you're a control deck and the games take 25 plus minutes and you fall behind, they have a Jace and a Mentor and more cards than you and everything, and you don't have any pressure on their Jace, it's time to concede. Get to game 2. You have to actually win this match eventually, and it's all about finding time to actually do that. So, I just wish if this goes to a draw, or if this goes to a situation where it's like, Edwin, Edwin or Michael are very far ahead in game 3, and one of them has to concede. I just wish that we could have avoided that by strategically, conceding. Sometimes, Dream Crush, you definitely, Team Dream Crush, you actually covered it. You have to consider the odds of you being able to finish a game 3, and I just feel like Michael wasn't considering that enough. But I'm not bashing him at all. Michael's a great player. Michael is also a great rules, judge. He knows what he's doing. I just think that's something that a lot of us struggle with. We always hate to just kind of give into the realization that, yeah, this game's over, you know. No one wants to ever come to that conclusion, you
Well,
know.
also, they're on the... Unfortunately, the players in the feature match do not have a visible clock. It's on the other side of the arena, so it's possible he just didn't know how much time had elapsed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Michael's on the play this time. Let's update the
Oh, yeah.
game records.
1 game for Edwin. We can reset the life totals. All right, Michael opens up on a fetch, but doesn't crack it yet. Corey Fox Ponting joining the commentary booth. Corey, you won round 1, certainly.
I got crushed. Sneak attack. I punted. I actually noticed I need to do some of the color correction.
Yeah, the colors are kind of weird. Also, sometimes this will blink out to red, and it'll say 0.
Huh.
We have a couple drop frames. I don't know how to fix that.
Technical issue,
Yeah.
and stream owner Corey Fox
Yeah.
Ponting in the booth.
Find out if that's like a networking issue or if that's just a CPU issue. Well, let